What's up? Closercertification.com. Today I'm going to be going over ad copies right now. We're testing these. Going back to the Discord as well. I'm going to show you guys what's going on. We just got it. We're starting to get some replies on some of the ads. And let's check it out. See if there's any pending. No new members yet, but I've been posting right here on content drops, which the point is to showcase scripting, role plays, scoring, feedback, viral hooks, things like that I'm testing. So this last one was me sharing a YouTube short, which here's the latest one. Now I'm testing some of these, but let's take a look at it. I'll show you guys. If you're under 25 and broke, it's your fault. But it won't be for long if you listen up, because you're the solution. I work with guys your age that are searching for things like how to make money online, how to build wealth effectively, make money with no money, start earning from home, or money motivation. The common element between these guys is that they're frustrated. They've tried crypto, flipping, content, ecom, but they're still broke. Not because they're lazy, but because no one ever taught them how to close. If you're moldable, hungry, and serious about building a real skill set, I'll show you how this works. DM me closer if you're done wasting time, or comment phone if you're still watching this on the same one that could be paying you. If you're under 25, now it's your fault. The whole point of this is that it's an ad, right? So if I'm scrolling, I need to be stopped. I don't always like to do negative. Like if you're broke, I would rather say it in if money could change your life and that's what you're focused on right now, then listen up, because you're gonna in 60 seconds you can change your life. That would be another example of another hook. So personally, I don't like to always use negative hooks, but it has to be scroll stopping because these ads are appearing everywhere. So normally I don't like to position or do that. I like more of a collaborative approach to this, but that's just an example. So, and this one, we're going to go into the Discord and say, here's a new one I put together. I don't like negative hooks, but this is supposed to be more collaborative in the future, but it has to grab attention too. So that's like two different ad copies that I use, and this is meant to show people what's going on, and that's based on, when you phrase it. Today we went from, I had these ads. These are some of the people that are replying. And most of it, there's a couple older guys. We were running ads up to 40 and 50 years old, but a lot of these are more like, they're not really replying or engaging with the ads. So we got rid of copy that went into this price range. And we're targeting more like of the moldable minds, people that have that, like at the age of 30 or 25, you're pretty set, you got a good role, but there's like the 6 or 8 years in your early 20s that really position you and transition to where you're going. And it's a lot of the guys right now that are switching things up, making a lot of money in different fields, trying to put themselves in a channel or in a lane that's going to do very well. And that's the whole point, pick a vertical. So this was some of the feedback that we got from day one ad performance. We're going to keep testing it, but the whole point here is to connect with the right audience and let my ads scale and do the work for me. I can build the rest of the integrations combined, but after about $20, we had $8 per messaging start, link clicks, messaging, public engagement. What we found is that of the 3 replies, some of these are more based on moldability and who's engaging with the ad. We had a third one come in after this, but a lot of these are actually looking for value and some aren't. So the guys that aren't, we want to get rid of. They can always comment, but this is our space to control, and leaving this place a little bit of a mess isn't in your best favor. So from this ad, we kind of decided, even just off the bat, I already knew from other Discords that there's a lot of activity in the under 25 range, male audience, but I wanted to give it a chance to see if we could attach or attract a higher quality caliber person. But from the first response, the answer was no. So what we're looking to do then is, okay, well, let me go for Gen Z then here. And I'm competing for audiences, obviously, and I'm testing organic. These are all organically being posted as well as advertised. I know my stuff when it comes to this. I've been creating short form for more than a year, 2 to 3 pieces of content. I've probably made 1,000 short form reels. So I really, really, really know what I'm doing here. We're breaking down the funnel though here. So what we saw here, we have the CTRs, the message conversions, the cost per message. What we notice is that CTR is low. It means that it needs to be a little more scroll stopping. It also needs to be more relatable, maybe something that's that. We also might have more than one type of, you can have a message me or comment. We also get to use the comments as a way to grow and position our ads. So if people are commenting and engaging and they're just wasting time or trolling, we can get rid of those. We don't have to draw attention to them because, again, remember, this is your profile. You don't have to allow that kind of behavior. And if you're active in these every single day, you're going to be in great shape. So if you're getting really good engagement, you want to keep rotating these ads. If you do one every day and you have a certain amount and you keep testing it, you're challenging yourself. So yesterday it might have taken me, I don't know, 4 hours to do this. Today it took me 2 because I'm getting the repetitions in. I'm very familiar with it. My takeaways were DM engagement was working, but I want to drive that down. I'm talking to people right now and I'm trying to work out the process flow on who do I send to book a call? Who do I send to the Discord, right? So that's the whole point of working within the funnel as you're doing this. They're talking to me. I'm engaging in conversations, right? If my persona knows that, and if I start to train my AI, even an AI response, right? Instagram has AI-based ads, but I want mine to sound very conversational. So it's me right now, okay? Everybody's talking to me, and I have a new account. So this is great for an account that has, and that was just created, right? So what we're seeing is that younger leads show higher intent, curiosity, and moldability, 18 to 27 with future ad sets, which you'll find here in a second. That was the one that I just did. This isn't bad cost per message, but we want to drive that cost down until we're getting the right funnel, and then we can start filtering, right? Who do we send to the Discord? Who do I send to the to book a call, right? And so the creative needs to be more scroll stopper. People are engaging, but few are clicking through. Add captions, CTA to push earlier. So I had the text overlay, but I was sharing a personal story about me moving to Miami, which is also very searched by people, relatability with a creator. But also, like, from that perspective, it's not going to have as much of a conversion. So for this, the New York City is also a little narrow. I expanded this now to the state of Florida. I'm targeting the new ad because it's a very tech forward city. There's a lot of people looking to jump around, especially down here in Miami. Texas, same thing. That'll probably be a secondary expansion. And another chance that even replies here, just because they didn't message you, it doesn't mean you can't reply and convert. I had someone comment on it. I couldn't message them. I put a comment in there, looked at his profile, made something relatable. He followed me and now we're chatting, right? So that's part of this process, as well as how are you converting these leads and generating more conversations. When you're advertising properly, you won't need to do that. But early on, when you're testing your top of funnel up here, it's going to be something that becomes really important. If you have the experience and you're selling you and your ability to help them, then people are connecting with you. If you're telling stories of other people or Warren Buffett, okay, but UGC, user generated content, is what people relate to, especially if they're going to invest in becoming a certified closer and changing their life and learning a skill set, you have to engage with those types of people. Okay. So that was part of it. We started to target, we got rid of the older ones and we're targeting under 25 now. Ad copy is add 5 seconds. Here's how to make it. I did push it forward. I could still do a better job with that than the secondary ad, but again, we're testing now. So I'm going to keep that other ad going in New York because I've gotten good feedback from some of my friends that are in advertising, but I'm already switching it up to a new ad and testing another $100 to see how it does. We're testing a few $1,000s in ads to see what works well. The goal here is to talk to and connect with someone, get them on a discovery call, explore a deeper relationship or connection to see if my style of selling, my background, where I came from, my story is something that they generate or that they relate with, right? And that's a guy that moved down here from Ohio, that where I'm from, being here means you made it, you know? So the DMs are good. We had 2 DMs, 1 comment. The comment's now gone to 2, and then I DM'd him. I got a new follow. If you find advice, give me a follow too. So some of these are, hey, nice to meet you, also pushing for that. So ask. If you don't ask what you're looking for, you're not going to get it. I asked him to follow me so that I could message him and let him know more. And that's what he did. So that's a way to show that if you want something, ask for it. Okay. This says that I always ask from a top 1% marketer, what are we doing? It says you're spending $8 to drive real convos with warm leads into a high ticket remote sales space. And that's what I do. Certification training, one-on-one coaching, mentorship, and tools. It's across the board, right? It's live. It's today. It's let's figure it out together. Because something next week could change. There could be a brand new AI boom next week. So this has to be an ecosystem that continues to evolve, which is why we made a Discord, because I want feedback as well. Okay. It says that 3-second views is pretty low. I think it was like not even 20%. We want that to be much higher. Traditionally, we want my best content's above 60%, 3 seconds. They stayed on. Hey, if I'm targeting someone and my message matches it, they might not be broke, but if you're 25, listen up. Making money remotely in sales, you're going to want to know about. That's a different one that's not so negative. And I would say an improvement on that. So we're testing these organically as well as checking for engagement, likes, shares. Is there value in here within a 50-second framework that someone can relate to, that they would want to send it to one of their friends, right? That comes from a value perspective. So ads are great. You can push your ads out, but a lot of ads that I see are, if you're a 7-figure business doing this, blah, 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 it's not always the best. Okay. So that's part of it. The internal structure, I rated this a 6.5. It was too localized, non-persona focused. It was focused on me, not them. People want to know what's in this for me. Why should I spend 8 seconds listening to you when I could just watch entertaining videos? That's part of it. The hook of the rat race, it might relate a little bit, but I wouldn't say that. Rat race is like 5 years ago, right? So I think it would be more like freedom, flexibility, working remote, making money online, selling a course, empowerment, mindset. These are some of the topics that I can relate that are good. Mine was more of a storytelling, not energetic or that. So I was pushing on that. I was extremely happy with the first ad that I ran. Some of the highest quality content I've ever put out, and it's showing. 24 hours in, it's doing much better than my traditional reels that I'm putting out there. And that's because I was helping one of my friends with his promoting business, right? So the higher quality stuff that we're putting out is doing extremely well right now on his page. And I said, let me try it on mine. So yeah, I have all these continuous stuff, but one high quality reel may be better than others. And we're testing that right now. I'm warming my account up. We're testing different things. I'm not always, as I start doing some of these, like if I'm boosting them and trying to get early engagement and, eventually people start to take it to really connect with you and what you're telling, which is the whole point of running it. And I'm running this under a brand account as well, which is a little bit tougher, but it's important that there may be future coaches here. There might be other verticals. There might be people that came in from other spaces that we make business with. It's important that I'm not the only one here. This is about a community. It's about helping others. It's about learning a skill set that isn't something. There's no sales. There are sales programs. There's one at OU, for example, where I'm from in Ohio. Top. If you look at some of these things, top sales programs in the USA based on college, FSU, Baylor. Let's see if OU number 6. Okay. So these states are places you can buy an education, right? But you can also do it a lot less than that by coming to a certification and having real world experience, right? So this is the let's see here. Cost of a 4-year degree then. So if you're going to go and do a 4-year degree in one of the top 10, this would be a public university, 100,000, and a private university would probably be 200,000 for all 5 of these. So I remember, like, if this is something you believe in, like Florida State, here you go, 92K. Now I would have been out of state here. Private, 200K. University of Wisconsin, that's a big state school, 76,000 in-state, 128,000 out of state. And they're focused on corporate ties. Where is the new stuff, right? You get a certificate, great. Do they have a placement program? This is who I'm competing with. Now, clearly on cost, I'm much less. I'm not $100,000. And I have 12 years of experience. So as someone that could teach or train at these schools, I could do that myself, even me, right? I could go and be a teacher, or I can help others. And if I use my skill set to help others and I want to earn a premium for that by helping a greater group of people, I can set my training up however I want. But obviously these are group settings, up to 30 people, different verticals, different states. So most schools, most states, which state in top 20 business schools has the most? So if I wanted to just target top states that have top sales schools, we're going to take a look here. New York has 9, Texas has 7, Massachusetts had 7. These are places where people push a lot of education, right? Which is where I'm from. And that's one of the things that a lot of the times this is college dropouts, college alternatives. This is, now look at these, like, so like these schools aren't relatable. Harvard, MIT, Boston, BC, some are, right? But like New York, Texas, Massachusetts, these are the places where the top sales schools are. So if you want to bypass 4 years, jump the gun, get straight in and make it happen, that's who this is meant for, right? People looking for education, knowledge, experience. And I'm teaching a skill set, high ticket remote closing. If you don't want to work remote, okay, I have always wanted to. I used to drive to appointments all the time and I could never, it was so annoying to have to go in home. A lot of the sales programs out here now, including life insurance and selling courses and ecom, these are just skill sets. Where's ecom university? There probably is. High ticket remote closing is exploding because it's a new monetization platform. It's a new way. It's still a new sector. And all the educational courses are based out of here in Miami, right? Now, some are for girls, some are fitness, some are other stuff, but this is the way to do it right here. Okay. So coming back to the some of these things, We were rating it younger, more open-minded. This is a college alternative. Remember that. Okay. Right now, as we come in here, we'll be raising our prices for sure. But the first 10 or 15 people that I work with, I want them to get in and for money not to be a problem. If they don't have 3,000, I can't help them, 3 to 5K, depending on how the payment structures are, right? And what program they select. But the younger, the more open-minded you are, there's less skepticism. You're going to have a demographic sweet spot of someone that's going to college, right? 17. You can't really advertise to anyone under 18. So like 18 to 25 is a sweet spot. Wants to make money, but isn't sure how, not lazy, just lost. Okay. So my New York targeting, this isn't something that's demographic. We were targeting a city because I thought what made a person relatable was having money, but it's not. It's being in a position of being trapped. I was in a rural area of Ohio when I started, and then I moved to a city that had education. That's when I started to get there. So learning and moving, coming down here to get exposure and talk to someone and getting a mentor are all really big steps. Okay. We talked about some of these other ones, but I don't think it matters. I think anyone there. So what we learned on day one was that the messaging was good. The proof of intent exists. Funnel works, but I need some small tweaks. Low engagement on the video, rework the hook. Mine was New York City was at the top of my list, but I was running an ad in New York City. Now mine is, again, you're broke is a negative mindset. I'm an optimist, and I like everyone that's searching for that isn't broke, I need money. It's the search terms that are being used are how to make money online. Don't, stop scrolling till you read this about how to make money online would be a better example, right? So there's different hooks that you can test. And I'm going to be playing around with all of those each day as I keep pushing some of these ads in there. Okay. Our goal here is to sell and scale, sell and scale, sell and scale. I'm running a funnel right now, right? So if I'm getting 3 to 5, if I get 2 sales a week, I'm in great shape. Okay. Comment was somebody just commented. It was like a smart ass comment about being a transplant. There's some about younger prospect moldability. Older demos do show resistance. So we're going to take those out. That's kind of garbage. Try high energy face or whiteboard. I skipped the whiteboard because I'm more laid back and I'm not writing anything, right? I'm not in a workshop, but I could do one. I could do a 1-day boot camp, but that's not really my thing. There's live events, but I'm putting a lot of content out there. I'm clipping a lot. I'm changing my ads up every day. So that was it. So most of you will never make 10K. Here's why. That's a open with a hard pattern interrupt. We're going to play around the hooks, but for now we're trying that. Use pain point driven hook. Gen Z doesn't want a 9 to 5. They want cash fast. This is the way to do it. For example, targeting. I'm going to drop the New York City. I'm going to still push that out because it's a good market to test in. But we're kind of honing this in now. So, side hustle, TikTok, finance, Los Angeles and Miami. We're doing state-based ones, and I think pushing education, places where education is important, is a big part of it. Upbringing, proper upbringing. It's tough. If you came in a tough upbringing, then it can be hard to scrape some money together. But a lot of people down here in Miami, they want to get out of the stuff that has plagued their families for centuries. So there's a lot of motivation down here. It's one of the biggest gaps I've ever seen. And that's in my new targeting. I'm really excited to see how that turns out. For the angle ideas, it's tired of scrolling. If you're 18 and 25 and not making money online, read this. No boss, no office, just Wi-Fi and real sales skills. Overall, day one, we talked about spend efficiencies, great. Funnel leakages identified, audience profile clarity. We got some crazy amounts. Conversion optimization plan. It's worth every dollar. Refine messaging, widening, targeting, and scale ready. Internal strategy was to post 1-day campaign reflection, which is what I'm doing. City-based geotargeting is too mature and hardened. People already living there might already be in it, which I agree with. They're already in the space. After I moved to Miami, I bought a course I was afraid to talk to girls when I was in my early 20s, and I bought a course, and then I came down here to Miami because I wanted to be with other people and get my mind right. So, like that's something that if people want to get down here, that's the whole point of the Discord. We have an entire Miami area. I think that, let's see here. Looking for a way out, want to make money online, but don't know how. Are you an ambitious drive out? That's much more relatable. They're going to outperform traditional income or geo-based filters with a stronger hook, relatability, captions, text on screen, geo-targeting. This is going to be better, right? So the winning isn't corporate people. It's, bro, this worked for me. And I went to college. That was 4 years. Then I did 10 years of sales. And now I'm here. And imagine if you could take all that, 16 years, and shrink it up and start today. I would pay. Not only is that the kind of person to be able to work with someone like that and grow and also get training, certifications, tools, one-on-one. I see the value because if they don't, I get it. Okay. I disagree. You're not buying a course though. This isn't 12 modules that you watch and tell your friends about. Given all that, it says, think towns like Ann Arbor, Gainesville, Boulder, Tempe, Columbia. Oh, these are like the Nelk boys, right? College campuses, Ohio, Michigan, Florida, Texas, where they often leave after graduation and give us a shock at finding 19 to 24. They're not dreaming. They just want their first 3K from Wi-Fi, not from working a corporate job. So we're pushing for more unqualified and lower intent leads into the Discord, which means if people don't have the money, but they want to grow and be a part of a community, that's great. We call them closers. If they want to be a certified closer, that's people that we push to a call, right? And so in my scripting and messaging and things like that, I'm trying to help people. After a couple DMs, 1 to 2 DMs, my goal is either to label them, hey, are you this or are you this? Because the Discord's for that. I'm updating the Discord. It'd be great to have you in there. Thanks for replying, right? We're pushing people into the Discord right now. Anybody should, right? Even if you're qualified in that, people that get certified or want to get certified, it's great. So I did some other stuff. So 1 out of 3 replies are showing real intent. My script's working well. There's a conversational tone, right intro. 4 questions. This is in the DM and the DMs. If you've been replying to me, you'll see this. But again, this is like, even for me, I have to use, I'm getting coached right now. I'm giving screenshots and I spent 6 hours today refining my funnel for my second ad and it's already posted. And if that's what you're doing, then you guys should be a part of it. You're going to get a lot of value out of these types of ads. Okay. Based on other clips, which I've done, if you guys know Vincent Fisher Fitness, I'm going to airdrop one of his that I looked at today. And this is my feedback on him. He's one of the leaders in this space. And not in sales training. But I'm going to show you guys what I did. I'm going to drop this on the screen. And we'll be able to see his stats. He's one of the best, and he's done a good job, and he started in fitness. Now he's trying to go more broad, but he can't because how's he going to do it? He never did this kind of stuff. He's not a closer. He doesn't have sales experience. He's got online sales experience and he was one lane, one product, one info product, right? Here's his, right? So he talks about don't compete, create. This is you can see here, it has about 20,000 views, 500 likes, 10 comments, which is really low. 1 comment per 1,000 views, I would say. You really want like probably even higher than that, 22 shares, right? And this is our breakdown of that. When I look at Vince's copy, this is his ad set. This was just a little bit ago, 22 shares. He's got a 10th comment. The likes hasn't gone up. And again, all that stuff, he can buy likes, he can buy followers, he can buy that kind of stuff. But ours is all organic, right? So we're testing and trying to improve the funnel. Jumps right into the lecture, blue button up, microphone, whiteboard, crosses out, compete, writes, create, and the length's 51 seconds. My most recent ad was 50 seconds. We typically stay under 1 minute. around the 1 minute mark, plus or minus. It's whatever it comes down to, because people don't have long attention spans. If 1 out of 3 people is not even watching for 8 seconds, why are you talking for 5 minutes? Okay, that's not the right fit. Now, maybe those people that watch longer are who you want. But we're in the growth phase, right? Where we're like using organic and testing it with ads. And all of this is about growth. So what he says is this: do not compete, create. A lot of you guys are competing with other coaches, going, I'm better than that coach, but buy my course instead. Bro, you guys haven't lost. You guys are fighting over the 3% of the marketplace that wants coaching, when there's not another 97% that isn't even aware that they need coaching. I target the 97% that aren't even aware they need coaching, and I sell them on the journey, and I have a blue ocean. That means he's not competing. Do not compete. Don't make a response video. Don't respond to somebody, etc. I agree with that. I got caught up in that, and I shortened my revenue. As soon as I went back to creating and being me, being motivational, telling people my story, I got a bunch of fresh new clients that were like, Vince, I relate to your past post. I want to get started. Don't compete on price either, he says. I'm a cheaper coach, blah, 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 blah. So these are like authority frameworks and education, but it's not coming in. It's not relatable, right? These are tips and tricks. Okay, so if he's built a following, he might drop these in, but if he's advertising these, not the best kind. He doesn't reply to DMs. He doesn't reply to the comments, I mean. And some of the DMs, he's phrasing stuff like that. So some of the comments were, I don't know, it was like someone getting farted at in their face, a gif of a guy saying, here comes a big fart, someone talking about his girls, talking about impersonating, which I think is what they come from, right? I come from, like, I made a shit ton of money in all these other industries, 6 or 7 figures before I became a coach. And I can tear orgs apart. I can tear a sales funnel apart without prejudice and without like hate. I'm just saying, show me the value. Where's the value stack? Where's the hook? All these things that we're talking about, right? Vince's ad, while visually strong, lacks the technical execution where it matters most. Storytelling, CTA clarity, strategic intent. The reels open up with an authoritative presence, whiteboard, mic, structured lighting, Hans Zimmer cinematic track, if you look at some of those things, but it's what follows is a generic surface level monologue that does little to differentiate him from the saturated coaching market. The core message is don't compete, create. It's overused, it lacks originality, and fails to tap into the real pain points or a believable, emotionally driven transformation arc, which is what we work within. There's no tension, inciting incident, no outcome, just broad strokes that might appeal to a cold viewer for a scroll stopping second, but fall flat when measured against performance KPIs like clicks, message replies, or meaningful engagement. And that shows in his engagement stats. They're shit. 500 likes. That's what we're always looking for. You want higher percentage amounts of likes, and you're always looking to improve it. If that's his baseline, that's okay. I'm not saying it's garbage. I'm saying I rated it a 6.5. It's not a 10 though. A 10's a viral post that gets 1 million views, right? A lot of talking videos don't go viral. On-screen text would be good. But there was none. That was a mistake by my AI when I was doing voice transcription, but there's no text, right? If you look at my hooks and you look at my images, are you under 25 and broke? It's your fault. It's your fault. But you're also the solution. Fix it. You can still fix it, right? You don't have a baby mama. You don't have 8 kids. You don't have like bills to pay, right? Maybe you do. And that's all about it. Becoming financially free is all about what we call financial runway. And it's, you got to set yourself up to take risk. Okay. Pay your rent for 6 months, live in your parents' basement, start an e-com store, learn a skill, grind 12 hours a day. transformed faster than anyone ever has. Okay. I started and quit a high ticket remote sales role in 1 week because I knew it wasn't the right fit. I tore it apart. There's been people that have been there for years because they didn't know anything about it. Okay. So that's just an example. This was, you're under 25 and we added some of the B-roll and stuff. I don't even know if his had that. Let me check. I don't think he added that in. No, he just has them talking, which is still a lower quality. He doesn't have a lot of B-roll, which again shows the quality of the edits that he's doing. Okay, he needs a team. If he's making 300K a month or 100K a month, he should pay 10K to get an editor to increase the quality of his content and test every single day. This is a full-time job. If your only job is to advertise online and convert lead funnels, then you need to spend some money in that. Okay. Vince as an online coach, and I don't know if he's an expert in sales funnels like I am. I'm not sure. Maybe he is. He's got a successful one for sure, but you can't ride that traction forever. You have to continue to mold and operate and test new copy, which he is. I've seen his ad sets on Meta. Let's see what else. We talked about the caption was no narrative, no urgency, no segmentation, no framed offer, recycled to hashtags, follow for more, DM me mentor. Engagement data backs this up. The ratio of likes, comments, and shares is underwhelming, especially given his platform size, right? No tagging friends, no testimonials, no real questions. There's no funnel behavior, no evidence users are click or DMing, progressing towards an offer. More for a piece. Like you would see participation. All the people that are commenting it's all irrelevant. You need to have a 24/7 team that's cleaning stuff up and making it happen. And block those people consistently. You don't want those trolls coming on every day. You just get rid of them. You know? So some of the other relate things here. We ask about top 1%. We talk about top 1% marketing operator lens, which is that 5 out of 10, and that's from an expert. Due to the lighting, outfit, vertical framing, everything else, copywriting, CTA, value articulation, comment moderation, funnel progression, needs overhaul. It's just not what I'd expect. Have you ever invested in coaching, right? High agency I statements and channel migrations, DM form, Discord call. Vince is playing at a content level. I'm at an ecosystem. Let's build. Let's grow. That's a good point. I was there before. Good. You know, that's what much more. I'm creating that relatability because it's authentic. If I wasn't in construction, today someone was a pipe fitter. Pipe fitters work hard. They work their asses off. I don't think Vince knows what a pipe fitter is. If he does, great. But I came from that. I used to pick heroin needles up and pick dog shit up in houses. You know, mine came from real grind. I cleaned out hundreds and hundreds of houses and garbage cans and old 100-year-old houses in Ohio. I went through it. And that's the kind of hard work that's going to take you all the way through. Grind and grit, right? So from the comment section, what we're seeing is low volume, 9 comments, 0.05%, well below the benchmark, even for organic. Low quality comments. This is like they aren't interacting with the message. It's generic. That means that you're not really to the right audience, Vince. Who's seeing this, right? If you get 15K views, then great. But like building a participatory ads-based sales funnel where people want to be a part of what you're growing is exactly what you want. If you position yourself as eyeball out and go on yachts and I buy my girlfriend a Lambo, that's not really going with what's relatable, which is not that. Who's buying Lambos for their girlfriends in the USA? Not me. I don't see that many. That's cool that you're doing that and that you're giving it away, but make it about her. Her whole brand is also that. So if I was running the creative, it wouldn't be that. And I run the creative for multiple brands. My personal brand, my company brand, as well as multiple other companies. It's a business we're considering starting as well, which is video-based ARRs or MRRs, which is reels, podcasts, authority-based positioning because I'm so good at it. It takes me 5 seconds. It takes a lot of time to edit, but if I'm going to spend that much, make it worth it. Look for big clients that you can help grow, right? And that's a big part of it. So, in terms of other stuff, there was no affirmation. This helped me. He talks about this or that. He could say, he did talk a little bit about that, but that relatability, how many people have an audience? He's talking to a very niche people, not to a wider audience like I am. My audience is people that don't want to work. And I already know my audience, 18 to 25-year-old males that want to make money online or digital space, who also need coaching and skill set development because they don't just want to have one product. They want to learn a skill set that's going to be transferable. I have a friend of mine right now in Massachusetts that's in AI and other types. He went from e-com to info space, right? So even if you're 19, you can still be an expert in something. You know, you can sell your first info product and go from there. Mine's not a product. It's more of a mentorship, coaching, transformation, certification. It's a lot of different verticals, right? So if you can't certify to certify someone in something, you have to have some experience, right? Which I put after every discovery call, I send my experience and track record in all my verticals that I've worked in since I was 18 years old. Okay. This is the same stuff that Warren Buffett followed. He was like, he had to be coached by someone. I think it was Graham. Let's see here. He had to have a mentor. And look at what he became. He became one of the most successful businesses ever built, never sold. Benjamin Graham. The best book ever written, right? Columbia. He went to Columbia, which is that Northeast quadrant, very educated, right? He worked for the firm. First and only boss was his mentor, which is a great point. You know, if you follow the success, it leaves hints. I think that's a quote. You know, I've studied all these guys. I've read entrepreneurship books forever. Where were we at on Vince's? I think. Okay, he doesn't have moderation. No boost reach. No remove that. He's not pinning comments. No funnel movement. Zero indication. Early on, you can start engaging with these posts and doing that. That's like how if you're running an OF agency, there's chatters, right? Chatters are in here in the weeds, talking, messaging. That's what a chatter does, right? So hiring a chatter, but for info space is required. Except this is allowable because it's not, you know, like showing your skin and stuff, right? There's a lot of girls that do that, but if some of these girls transition to a skill set, like building a 6-figure business, getting out of it, building a podcast and becoming an authority voice, they would kill it. You know? Why this matters, it says, the first 10 comments create that. Pin a student win, ask a follow-up question, plant seeds, drop a response. Vince doesn't do any of those because his CTA is mentor. It's vague, buried in whatever. If you compare it to mine is, mine treats replies as a lead funnel. I talk to people, I relate to them. I say, hey, do this. Nice to meet you. Thanks for commenting. His is preaching, not qualifying, but mine's also participatory. We're all in this together. Hey, if you're trying to change your mindset, you already took the first step. Great work, man. Right? It's like reward-based ladder structure. If he was doing 100K a month, I definitely could. That's a question, right? And I haven't even sold. I'm just testing my ad copy now. I've made the Discord, I've made the landing page. Ads are going to show you the direction that you need to go faster than people going on your site organically. Okay. He's monetizing at mid-level execution. Hooks are generic, captions less specificity. Comment section is under leverage. His CTA is vague. His brand is single vertical. Mine's multi-vertical and visionary. We have multiple tracks that people can work in. I'm doing one right now as we speak from scratch just to show it's possible. There was a guy that did fitness coaching that did what's called fit to fat to fit, and he gained 70 pounds and went back. It went viral. So I'm going to make 250K plus and show mine. Like I'm going to show what's possible. That's 5K a week. Okay. Within 30 days that you can stop what you're doing, learn a skill set, become certified, get into it and knock it out. I would go straight into life insurance every time. Even then, when I was coming into the life insurance company that I'm at right now, I interviewed with 3 different firms. I got into the #1 firm at the #1 fastest growing agency where everybody's new, and I got the highest splits day one. Why? Because the founder had a similar background and story as me. He connected with me. When people connect, commonalities, what we have in common builds community. If I said, I never did any of those things, you're an idiot, which I don't think, that would be different. But he came from real estate. He came from that. So I'm always looking for people I can connect with. That's what community is all about. That's what my whole community is about. I'll boot someone in a second. There's a guy trying to sell me to help me grow my Discord. He's not bringing value first. I even gave him the chance to. I said, hey, if you're trying to grow a Discord, why don't you toss in 5 or 10 new members that are real contributors, and then we'll talk. If that's what you do, I would love to support a business that can help me as well. He's aligned our interests, but his execution wasn't good. Top of funnel, that's clickbait. Great clickbait, then it drops off. No one ever makes it. That doesn't have this kind of experience. Vince, I'm a creator funnel, community certification, job placement, and Discord. You can't compete with it. It's not just content, it's infrastructure. I'm not bragging. I'm not making you. I would love to bring people in that have incomes. Why don't they want to support my business? If I'm selling, why not support me? If this is what I do now, and I have reserved slots to help people that invest, why not support me, right? If you connect with it and it can help you, why not support my business? I don't even do that because that's more of like a mentality. Mindset's everything, right? I don't need to do that because I come from an abundance mindset. And the people that see the value will purchase. I'm going to try to have a lot of conversations with people, right? So Vince is clearing that off of preach and post. Mine's driven around that. And so people don't buy information, they buy transformation. Okay, so look, I've been talking a lot. I'm tired of talking, but so I'm talking about my journey. And Vince does a great job of telling his story, sleeping on the ground, eating beans, having rice, buying his mom that, but he's past it. He's not relatable anymore. If he was doing that, he would be giving away scholarships. Look at Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast was just asked by Aiden Ross to stream for 24 hours. And he said that the founder of the company needs to donate $5 million to charity. That's good leadership. That's putting community and helping others first. People relate to that. And he's open and transparent about it. Okay. So coming back, we were looking at this. Blue collar, maybe. That's where I came from. I was white collar. I graduated college and I sold real estate, but I worked myself into a job like the solopreneur, right? And I didn't have a scalable offer that I could take to 8 figures. And that's really the big difference. You can get a lot of businesses to $1 million. It's very tough to get a business past 5 million. I scaled 4 or 5 businesses to 7 figures. I could not crack 8 figures until I got into offering 8-figure real estate deals. But then the sales cycle was 2 years and I couldn't make any money. Right? So these are some of the sales funnel design. When it comes to sales funnel archetypes and architecture, you want to make sure you're good. Now I can help a lot of people. How many people are 18 to 25 that want to make money online? That's a lot of people I can help, right? Based on mine. Mindset, curious about crypto, stocks, flipping, YouTube, real estate, passive income. Pain points are physical labor, capped income, inconsistent hours, lack of time frame. That's what I had. Grinding. I made 3 million sales calls. What do I have to prove for it? Experience. That's it. Messaging that works. I used to bust my ass doing demo work. Now I close deals from my phone. That's relatable. Welding paid the bills. Closing brought me freedom. That was like one of the Pipefitters we did, right? I was always tired, always broke. I always worked my ass off. I came home. I used to come home with dirt on my face and I would fall asleep. I couldn't even go out. I wanted to work on other parts of my life, not just my money. I was grinding, couldn't make it past. Escape, build, own, scale from the trenches, never clock in again. Start with 0 tech skills. Those are good. Really, really, really good power words. Contrast framing, 9 to 5 hustle versus remote. Physical labor versus that. But I think the power words, these are things that people relate to. Instagram tags like weld light, blue collar grind, pipe welder, TikTok stuff, right? Welding 10 hours a day just to stay broke. That's what I was doing, not welding. I did torch work. I did torching. We did demo. We had to torch off like these types of, well, you can't see it, but torch off like metal fixtures, like some of the most dangerous work I've done in 20 states. And I had hundreds of other people that worked for me over the 5 or 6 years I was in a national demolition business. You know, I was employing 5 or 6 remote people, right? Screening questions. So qualified, moldable, working class guys like Willie, one of the guys that commented today, they might be just curious, but I'm trying to filter them in and say, look, if you're serious about it, this is what I would do. If not, I join the Discord and I'll hit you up when I have time. Okay. My goal is to get you to help you get in the place. I never found a place. I never used Discord when I was from. So now that I can say that, I can say, join the Discord. You're going to be among other people like you. Okay. That's a good place to grow. What do you do for work now? Are you trying to replace it or build something on the side? Replace is high intent, financial pressures. Are you looking to make fast cash or build a skill that can make it long term? Have you ever invested in coaching or courses, or are you open to it? Would you rather get access or hop on a one-on call to go over next steps for more of that? That's more of like a transition bridge. Intent and action. If we gave you the play, could you follow up? Do you feel like you're in a position to work really hard? Right? Are you motivated? Things like that. So that's a lot of it. There's so much in here. I could keep going. But that's everything for today, guys, you know? So that's what we went through just in the first one. If you guys aren't a member of the Discord, I recommend joining it. Here it is. Thanks for watching.